Good morning. I'm Emelina Minero, and I'm with Tracy Ryerson, and we're just gonna have some fun conversation.
Yeah,
yeah. Let's party.
Let's do it.
So
and like it's not the morning for you.
It's totally not morning, but that's my favorite greeting because in the morning there's just the sun's out. You have the whole day ahead of you, so it's very positive and.
That means I'm a morning person as well.
Yeah.
So that's good. But unlike you, I'm sure I go to bed at like 9 p.m. You seem like you can stay up.
Oh, I don't know. I do stay up. My goal is to try to fall asleep by 11, but I usually don't fall asleep until 12 or 1, but like I'm in bed by 11.
Oh, really?
Yeah, unless I'm super tired, then once in a while I'll pass out like at 10. But I'd love to be 9 o'clock. I would love that.
There's something good about it. I don't know. I like it. I'm just saying. I'm not afraid to hide it.
That's
people
good.
are like, oh, I stay out all night. I'm like, no, I go to bed at 9.
Oh, yeah, no. Maybe once in a blue moon I could go out late, but I get tired.
Yeah, I know.
And I need my sleep.
That's funny.
So, I was reading that you were just talking about producing, you produce television?
I do, yeah. We do high-end cable TV. I work for a producer out of London, and it's great. She has Nurse Jackie on the air.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's a great show. And then we have a show called Peaky Blinders on the BBC in the UK.
Cool.
Which is really cool. We got Tom Hardy to play a Jewish gangster this year.
How is that creating media in the UK, too? Because the cultural difference, I guess the media and the TVs, like the humor and all that is a bit different. So how is that creating media for the UK?
It's hard, and we have execs over there as well, so we kind of bridge the gap. But it's hard because humor doesn't really translate both ways. It's very rare that it does. Although I love British humor, I don't think everybody gets, although House of Cards came from there. There's a lot of examples that have come from there now. But to send a comedy from here over there is really difficult.
Yeah.
I guess both ways, really. But we tend to do dramas. I mean, we do both, but sending it back and forth, I think the dramas are a little bit easier.
And so I read that the TV producing is something you're passionate about because you get to use your imagination and the storytelling, and then you get to package these products or projects. So can you tell me more about those aspects of it?
Yeah, it's, when you produce, there's so many different ways of going about it. So when everyone's like, it's really hard to explain in one coherent sentence. Mm-hmm. But the best part of my job is I read a lot. But I read, like, for instance, today, let me give you an example. I'm kind of a little bit of a sci-fi geek. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking for something to sell to the Sci-Fi Channel. So I found this book, and it's a book series, and it turns out it's available, and it's sort of a space opera. And I love that. So now I get to marry it to a writer. So what I do is research writers based on things that I've seen, writers I've met in the past, people I don't know. So I'll meet agents and managers and, find out who their best clients are. And you package a project. So you're working on it from the ground up. You get your favorite director, you put some actors in. It's a lot of fun to do because you're involved in the business and the creative side.
That's really cool.
It's fun. And you get I find stuff in books, in articles, from friends, random ideas. The only problem with this is that your head doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Amy tells me to shut up all the time. But it's cool. I like it. It's something that I don't think I could ever stop doing.
Yeah. And that's cool how your inspiration could come from everywhere, from anything. Yeah.
Honestly, the thing. And it's fun also, doing the web series. I got to tap into sort of a different audience, the LGBT audience, and it's all the same. Story across the board is all the same.
Yeah.
And everyone's dealing with the same issues, and there's always flawed characters, and so it's just, you just have to target, I guess, a different demographic, age-wise, gender-wise. It's really so much fun. And I like challenging myself and playing in different areas, so it's cool.
How so?
How so, challenging-wise? Well, let's see. That's a good question. I'm thinking of it both. The reason I'm taking so long because there's the acting part of me, and then there's the development side, behind the camera. So acting-wise, it's taking on just playing somebody that's so opposite of me, and then I've never played a gay character before, even though I am gay. But you tap into a bunch of things that I think you normally might keep to yourself. So it's sort of fun talking about issues that are, I guess, LGBT related through this medium. It's something I never thought I would do. You know what I mean? And Rolla Selbach writes and directs really well. She was the writer-director of Kiss Her Own Famous, and she tackles a lot of things, from stereotypes to relationships to rights, across the board. So that was kind of fun to do, and a challenge. And then on the development side, it's different for, I was in commercial, I worked for Jerry Weintraub for years, so we did Ocean's 13, Nancy Drew, like really big commercial movies, and it's sort of a different formula, and now I get to work a little bit more indie, and get to the nitty-gritty of characters, if you want to say, and not make those safe bets, those safe choices. So getting to play a little bit more with LGBT characters is fun for me. I should explain that, in the commercial space, I guess you can say. What I want to do is bring LGBT characters to, which they're doing now, but it's just kind of happening now, but bringing it to the world and showing that we are just like everybody else. Yeah. And we can have families, and we can have relationships, and and we sometimes get divorced. So, I don't know. It's fun.
So you said, commercial-wise, you've been starting to work with more LGBT characters?
Trying to. Yeah, there's like a show we're trying to develop, which I can't say much about, but the lead is LGBT. And then, for instance, as an example, on Amazon is Transparent. Have you seen that? So Transparent is this show by Jill Soloway, who did this great thing called Afternoon Delight, which you should see. But it deals, without giving too much away, that's the problem, it's in the title, though. But it's about a bunch of LA characters, and their dad is transgender, or he wants to transition. I don't know how far they're going to go along with it, because it's a pilot, so we don't know everything yet. But it's interesting. So it's going to deal with a lot of topics that I don't think people have seen yet.
That'll be on TV?
Yeah, on Amazon.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be really amazing.
Really cool. So that the idea that we can play with all of that now is fun to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's here and now.
And then with acting, you said one of the challenges is, one, playing a character that's different from you, but you also mentioned like vulnerability. How does that play into acting?
To acting, I think it's very easy, especially with being on The Real L Word. I played myself, so it wasn't necessarily playing another character. And then going off and playing a character that's nothing like me. I play this girl, Mandy, who was sort of shy and is a bit of a follower and not confident at all. And she gains her confidence, and that's a lot of her arc. But it's not like me at all. I think a lot of people think of me as quiet, but I am outspoken at a certain point. And just playing against type, was a challenge for me. A lot of the set, it's funny, we ended up leaving after a week shoot, and one or two crew members were like, God, I thought you hated me. And I was like, what do you mean? And I realized my character, I smile a lot in real life, and I'm a happy person, and I make jokes constantly, and I'm a little bit geeky, and and this character that I had to play was so angry and so upset all the time, and just in her own world and in her space, and anything that her friend said to her bugged her, and and that's not me at all. So getting there, I decided to, I guess, be a little bit method and be in that space the whole day, which is really difficult. Yeah. And then when everyone realized, they're like, oh, that's just your character. So, I've never done that before, and that was fun. It was a challenge.
What was that process like to inhabit your character for such long spans of time?
Luckily it was only a week because she was miserable. But, and her girlfriend, broke up with her because she wasn't adventurous in bed. There's all these things you had to tap into. But it was fun. It was tiring, I think, also. Yeah. It's tiring being somebody that you're not. And I guess that's a good lesson in life. Just be yourself. It's a lot easier. But in acting, it's an art form, and it was fun to hone that and practice,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then you're a sci-fi fan. Do you watch any of the shows on the Sci-Fi Network?
Not much. I watched Warehouse 13 a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The recent ones I haven't been into, really. I think they sort of changed their brand.
Okay.
And I think now they're trying to get back to what they really wanted, what they really do or did in the past. Although I have to say I'm more of a Star Wars and a Star Trek gal, so I don't know.
Have you watched any of Lost Girl?
You know what? I haven't, and I just wrote that down. I was like, I can check it out. Is it good?
I like it. I like it a lot. This last season, I haven't liked as much. It seems the storyline's not as strong, and some of the character relationships aren't as dynamic.
Yeah.
But I'm still watching it just because I want to continue with the storyline and see what happens.
Right. Don't tell me how it ends.
Yeah.
I'll hang up on you on this Skype. I don't know where it is, but I'll find it.
But I do like it. I'd probably say it's not like the best show in the world, but it's still a strong show.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'll add it to my list.
Mm-hmm.
I like watching. Well, part of my job is even the shows that I don't like, I have to watch at least an episode of it because I have to know, the tone and who's in it and what's happening. So I watch a lot of shows I hate too.
Yeah. So you consume media a lot then.
Yeah, I do. I have to. I mean, part of the job. You know what I consider our currency is information.
Yeah.
In development and in not production, but in development. So you're constantly trading information. And today I looked up, for instance, all the pilots that did not get picked up because what I realized is those writers are now available. Somehow get them attached to one of our ideas. So you always have to kind of think out of the box, and it's very mental, and it's fun. I don't know. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's like my only little game I play against myself.
So, I was reading an article. It was either from Malta.com, like in 2013, or some other article from a publication I forget in 2011. So I might be mixing those two and referencing them. But you and Rolla Selbeck were interviewed, and you're talking about the differences in Hollywood and independent filmmaking, and how
in what I missed the first one. In what in independent filmmaking?
Like independent filmmaking versus making movies in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
And how Hollywood's more like a male centric industry. And also an issue. Well, actually, 1,000 questions pop in my head, so I'll start with one.
Fine, I just answered one of your questions in 10 minutes. And by the way, you should know I had sake, so I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
It usually helps.
But one thing that I thought was super interesting, you said that what was it? I wrote it down, and my notes are gone.
Versus indie. I don't know what I said. I never know what I say.
This one was specific to Hollywood about, I think you said, if you're out, then people think in acting that you can't play gay, and then in producing film, that you could only produce gay shows.
I think, and I think, I don't, it was something like that. But I don't think that's the case so much anymore. I think Hollywood is filled with gay people and Jewish. And luckily I'm both, so awesome. I'm a winner. Or at least half. But I think that when I came out, it was something that I questioned. And I had people say it to me early on. And they're no longer my friends, really. Mm-hmm. But it was like, gosh, if I come out, especially where I was working, are they going to think that I only want to make gay films, or that's all I can relate to, or that's all I know? Because unfortunately, a lot of people still are closed-minded. Mm-hmm. I'd have to say that the majority of people out in LA, at least, aren't, and especially in Hollywood. So we're lucky there. And I think more and more where there's positive representations, on TV, and look, you can name a ton of shows that have gay characters. They might not necessarily be leads yet, which they should be, but there is a character or two in almost every show now. Well, maybe not that many, but a lot more than 2 years ago, let's just say. So I think it's just all progressing. But I think there was a moment where I was like, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to be treated fairly. Mm-hmm. And then there still is, as actors, you know, I know a ton of actors that are gay and have not come out yet. I can't name them because it's one of those things where it's everyone's own journey, and you find the right time to come out, and maybe it's not their right time yet. But there's all these factors that you do have to consider. You know, unfortunately, there are the closed-minded people. So when a show is looking for a certain character, and they think of you as that gay guy or gay girl, like, you might not get the job. I hate that, but it happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can't. When people say, oh, everybody in the public eye should come out because that's their duty, I don't necessarily agree. I think everyone should do it on their own time and when they feel comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? So I felt a lot of pressure after doing The Real L Word. Obviously, I was out, but I got a lot of pressure from people about, you know, coming out and labeling myself mostly. And that was interesting. I was like, you know what, I think you need it more than I do, which is the funniest thing. Like, the people need to put you in a box so that they can understand who you are. You know? And I don't know, I had to go through my own journey with that. But, so don't make me label myself.
Definitely.
I'm pointing at you, but I can't find where the camera is. It's like, it just looks silly.
No, that's perfect. That's a huge reason why I created the Human Experiences publication, to help lessen the bigotry within the queer community. And it just astonished me because I started working for Curve magazine and got, you know, more entrenched in, you know, LGBT media, but also just the people's comments and, you know, kind of like forums of, you know, what are people's thoughts.
Right.
And it blew my mind. The bigotry, you know, within the subcultures of the lesbian community, or, you know, believing that bisexuality doesn't exist, or, you know, recently, was it a Miss Universe contestant came out, and she came out as queer, and then someone said, you know, like, well, what's queer? You know, if you don't identify as this or this, then, you know, there's no point. It's just crazy that that kind of stuff exists.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a matter of time. There are, I was going to get into something else, but it's a longer conversation. We recently went to something, and it was like, it was for the LGBTQIA, and I've never heard I heard Q, but I never heard IA, or that they had added, and I don't know if it's officially added, but everyone around us was like, what does it stand for? And then we quickly realized, but that was a learning curve for us. So I think everyone's still getting used to it.
Yeah.
Every title or whatever you want to give us. I don't know. I don't know. I'm late to the party, right? I didn't realize. I was like, oh, I is intersex and A is asexual. But then again, people call me asexual in college, so.
Yeah, it's interesting labels. I think they're important, but they're also, so diverse and subjective. Like,
no,
not
I
black
think so
and white.
too, and I think, unfortunately, like, the way I think labels just feel like a final word, like finality, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah,
there's fluidity, and I think that we live in a lot of gray. And so for me, it's really hard. I know people who were considered straight, and then they were gay, and then they were bi, and now they're gay again. Like, and you're kind of, I don't care. Whatever, you love someone, I care less. But it's interesting when other people need to put you in this box.
Yeah.
Not right.
So how is independent film versus working with independent film and non-independent film? How is that different?
The difference is budget, basically. No, I mean, I've worked in commercial film for so long, and I got lucky because I worked for a producer that was very recognizable. Jerry Weintraub's been around forever. He's a legend, and he is now doing TV as well. But it was very easy to get anybody on the phone when I worked for him, pretty much. And the people that he wanted to work with were extremely A-list, and that was on his, his speed dial was Brad Pitt and George Clooney. So that was a fun thing. But we were in the studio system, so basically we had a first look deal with Warner Brothers, so we would bring projects to Warner Brothers, and they would either pass and we'd go to the rest of the town, or they'd do it and they'd give us a lot of money. independent film is hard because you have to come up with a lot of your own cash. The budgets are totally different. The star power, if you want to say. I like indie films so much, though. I think you can say so much. I love finding new talent. I think they're young, raw, awesome people. And it's not as polished. I like things that aren't as polished, not as perfect. And I think there's some great indie films. What did I see that I liked? There was one, I always forget something 12. I saw it on a plane recently. Oh, God, this is going to kill me. And I can't even look it up on my phone because I'm using the phone to talk to you. Anyway, I'll think of it at some point today. But no, I think it's basically budget.
Yeah.
You know, and they all have good stories, but it just depends. I like that you can do more with indie.
And then you said that you want to develop the story with an LGBT character for mainstream. Do you have a specific idea in mind, or is that something that you'd write, or what part of the process do you do?
No, I don't. I write just a little bit, but as for screenplays, I usually hand off the idea. I find a writer that is more suited to write it than me. So what I would do with that, there's something that got set up recently that's a little bit similar, so I have to decide. It's taking one theme out of it. But something I want to do basically puts a gay character who is sort of a single mom. I can't say much about it yet, but it's a single mom and putting them in mainstream media, if you want to say.
That's really cool.
And I like the idea, of that, and I like the idea of a feminine gay girl who everyone, can stereotype. I mean, to this day, I have guys that I meet, and they don't understand that I'm gay, and of course I get the plethora of questions. I get everything from, oh, you haven't been with the right guy, or, and then obviously it's like them that's the right guy or something, or they want me to be their wingman, or, God, what is it? I don't know. There's so many of them. It's ridiculous. Where you kind of just like, or you're not gay. You're confused, or no. How can you be gay? Look at you. I'm like, what do you mean? Look at me. They're like, well, you're wearing heels. I'm like, what do you mean? Like it goes from the most idiotic questions to the ones that are a little bit more complex. But I don't know. I like the idea of talking about feminine gay characters a lot.
Do you feel like there's like a kind of like feminine invisibility for LGBT females?
In a way, yeah. It's and sometimes it's hard to convince somebody. It's the weird, and I'm like, why am I convincing you I'm gay? It's the weirdest thing. You end up going through this dance with them, and then other times it's perfectly fine. But I like it. I like that I fly a little bit under the radar. I mean, besides being on the real L Word and blasting my naked body on a billboard, but other than that, totally under the radar. I don't know, it's fun. I guess I don't like the spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I read that you're working on a book about being an insta-mom.
Yeah, the only thing is I put it aside just because that doesn't pay, and everything else does. But it's something that I love, and I've written probably, I want to say a little bit more than half of it, and it's just basically my experience being an insta-mom because, we raised these 3 kids, and I became a mom overnight, if you want to say. So, and it's oddly easy. I think the hardest part is dealing with like the other moms. But the kids are awesome.
What do you mean by dealing with the other moms?
Well, it's suddenly you have like 4 moms in a room making one decision. Everyone thinking that it's this is the best way to raise a kid, or this is what you do, not that. And then they're big decisions. What school should the kids go to? What, I don't know. Should they do athletics? Should they have a cell phone at age 6? Should they have it's and everyone deals with it.
Yeah.
But add 4 moms in and all that estrogen, and then everyone has the period at the same time. Forget it.
Yeah, my sister is just looking at preschools for my niece, and then she was talking about just with her and her husband, but then like bouncing off ideas off me, bouncing off ideas off my parents.
Right.
But to think about instead of just between her being between a whole bunch of moms, a whole bunch of parents, that's just like That's a lot of navigating. Oh, the volume's off a little bit.
I don't know. Maybe I moved it.
Oh, there
Sorry.
it goes.
How about now?
Perfect.
That's my hand covering it. The hard part is when, like, you know, I'm the insta-mom, or, you know, when we get married, I guess the stepmom, and you feel like you don't have as many rights, and you know, for the first year of my relationship, I was trying to, you kind of figure out when you should speak and when you shouldn't, and you don't want to step on the other mom's toes, and you don't, you know, but it's all one big family, and everyone is there for the same reason, and it's all based on love, so it really shouldn't matter. And I think the cool thing about our family is that regardless of how the situation came to be, everyone puts the kids first. So I don't think I could be in a relationship where that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
You know, so it makes it easy because of that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. They're great. We share them, and we have them half the time. So right now we don't have them, and it's weird. Yeah.
So, with Kiss Her I'm Famous, was that your first acting thing outside of being portrayed on the L Word, the real L Word?
I think, yeah, scripted wise, yeah. I've done commercials and so on. It's slightly different though, obviously. So this was probably the first scripted thing I've done. And it was a great experience. I mean, from the beginning to the end. And first season was a little different than second season. It was fun because we added in different characters second season. So we had a little bit more to play off of, and different personalities. So, and the one thing that was hard though is that we shot 7 days we shot 7 episodes in 7 days.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, during a heat wave in Los Angeles. So it was like 108. It was 13-hour days or maybe 12-hour days, but it was grueling, but we had the best time, you know? At one point, Leah and I were just like fanning each other, sweating, and then they would touch us up, we'd run in, do our take, run back, fan, like we were just melting. But it was fun.
Was that cool? It sounds like you kind of like build like a family environment or just like a new community. How is that being able to work on a series like that?
It's fun because you do build a family, and it was a small set, small crew, and everybody was very talented and open and just good people. And Rolla had worked with a few of them before, so they had a sort of a shorthand. And by the second season, I think we all did. Everyone knew everyone had a different method of doing things, and we settled into our characters a little bit more as well. And it's hard because this is about a sex tape. You know, it's weird being an actor when you meet somebody and like on day 2 you're having fake sex with them. That's odd. There's no way of like around it at all. But we're all professionals, so it's all of it was this challenge, and I'm so glad I did it. Yeah, I'd have a huge regret I think if I didn't. And I met some really cool people, and even afterwards, you're still meeting great people that are involved in indie film and web series and so on. So,
is there going to be a season 3?
I don't know. You know what? I see Rolla tomorrow night. I'll ask her. It's left off. I can't really say actually. I guess it's left off at the end where there's room for a season 3.
Yeah.
But it just depends. You know, it's hard. It's hard to get everyone's schedules together. Rolla flies in. You know, Ilea, I think, is acting, has her own thing, and then we all have, you know, our full-time jobs and so on. So it's hard, but if it comes together, it'd be great.
Yeah, I hope so. I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons, and
thank you.
Definitely, my ideal is that your character Mandy and Ellie Matthews' character get together.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Good.
So I'm hoping there's a season 3, and that will happen.
We'll see what happens. We'll see. I can't say anything yet. But I had a lot of fun we had Noreen DeWolf come in and Fazia, and God, I think we laughed, the 3 of us, but especially Fazia, like we laughed so much as if we've known each other for years. Rolla was cracking up, and then we all had to stop because we weren't getting anything done. And that's, I mean, you just remember those things, you know?
Do you want to...
What's that?
Do you want to explore acting in more web series or TV or film? Is that something you'd like to do?
Do more of it? You mean on camera?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm still doing commercials. I'm still modeling and doing a bit of that. And it's just hard. I'm trying to figure out the perfect balance of it all. Just, being able to produce as well. So, but yeah, definitely open to it. It's a lot of fun, It's cool. I often think, I'm like, what would be my perfect role? And of course, everyone's like, you need to be a female detective. And I'm like, why? But, there's so many roles that would be fun. I enjoy playing against type. I think everybody thinks of me a certain way, so, like wholesome and awesome. You're like... No, but it was fun. The other reason I did it is that, people, I think of me a certain way from the real L Word, and it's fun to kind of show them that you're something else as well.
Yeah, definitely. So you're talking about, like, a balance, that you'd like to find this balance between all the different projects. What would your ideal balance be?
With everything I'm doing now?
Uh-huh.
I think I just found it. Sort of. I don't think you're ever going to find that perfect balance. I kind of stopped. I've given up. If there's one thing you should do is just stop looking for the perfect balance, because you'll really never find it. Especially with kids, it's impossible. I think, what I realized is that structure is really good for me. So in order to fit in everything I want to do, which is a lot, include going to the gym, which I have not figured out how to fit in yet, you have to wake up really early. And I think what I love doing is predominantly producing. I love creating, and that's probably my best outlet right now. But I can't give up acting and all that, because they all use different parts of the brain, and I really enjoy that. I'll never be bored, ever.
Yeah.
And I think you reach people. I love people, and I love hearing what people think and hearing about their lives, and a lot of times you can do that through these characters, because, for instance, you'll play somebody that someone might relate to, and then you'll meet them, and then they open up to you, through the eyes of that character. So something like that is something I've never experienced, and when I did, I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's incredibly cool. Did you hear a lot, like, do fans of Kiss or I'm Famous, like, if you write in, or have you heard comments about how your character in the show has impacted them?
Yeah, a couple of people. I got emails from people saying, like, some of them I'm like, do you know it's not real? And I'm like, do I write back to this? But some people talked about the confidence thing, which was interesting, and they'll say, oh my God, I do that exact thing. Like, I can relate to you. You make me feel like I can, stand up and speak louder, or whatever it might be. I got a lot of that. Less so with the scripted, a little bit, but a lot of it with the reality TV show. A ton. And that was a big reason why I did it. Because you don't become rich on that, let me tell you. But, no, a lot of it was I was going through something that I thought, if I talked about it, could help a lot of other people. And I didn't realize how much. And after I started getting mail and meeting people around the country, you do realize. And you realize also how fortunate you are here, as opposed to Afghanistan or India or wherever, and people write from everywhere. So it was an eye-opener for me, and it was just also really cool to tap into that.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I would put myself on camera. It's really you really put a lot of yourself out there, but it's sort of worth it.
That's really cool to hear feedback from people all over the world, especially in places, like Afghanistan, where it's, just being a woman could be really difficult.
Yeah, and we heard a lot of those stories. We had, we had some horrible stories from people being kicked out of their homes, things that you always hear could happen, and you're like that, that's not going to happen to me. But the fact that we've met people that it has happened to, it's mind-blowing, People that are afraid for their well-being, people who had moved out of their homes because of that reason. It's crazy. And the big thing for us is, like, we were happy because we started this website too, where we connected a few of these people, and, like, a few ended up dating, a few girls ended up dating, and we keep in touch with them, and, like, that's awesome. That makes us really happy, because I think everybody just wants to share who they are and have an outlet that's safe.
Yeah.
And that's not the case everywhere. So I don't know.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's we pulled that down, but for a few reasons. So I mean, we'd love to start it up again, but while we had it up, it was great. It had a lot of traffic, and we got a lot of people together. So
high five.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom.
That kind of worked.
Yeah, it did.
Everyone watching is like, you guys are idiots.
So you're going to the Dinah this year, and you're going to be at the film festival for Kiss Her I'm Famous?
Yes.
And how many Dinahs is this for you?
Oh my God. I haven't been to that many. I think I've only been out for a couple of years, I feel like, but I think I've been to maybe 3 of them or so, maybe 4. But the fourth one was like, I went in for a pool party and went out. I was like, this is too much, I'm out. Like, I can't deal. There's nipple pasties everywhere. But no, I went, the year we were filming, we went, and then we went, I think, maybe 2 years after that. So it's cool. And I've had, like, many different experiences there. I went with my girlfriend once. I think I went alone once. And then one with my first girlfriend.
Oh, nice.
So 3, actually.
I'm going to be going for the first time this year. So do you have any advice for first-timers in general at the Dinah? Or, like, what would one expect at the Dinah?
My gosh. It's sort of changed a little bit too. I think I think it's younger girls now. Mm-hmm. They kind of get a little bit crazier. They don't have a tolerance for alcohol either, apparently. But no, I think definitely bring sunscreen. I see a lot of girls that come out and they look like lobsters because they just totally misjudge it and they're just drinking the whole time. Sunscreen, bring a camera because you have to remember that. I don't care. Everyone's like, what happens in Palm Springs? No, fuck that. Take pictures, okay? Because you'll like it 10 years later. If there are throwback Thursdays that still exist, you can post something. Gosh, what else? Just bring your sense of humor, because honestly, there's nothing else better. I'd have to say Dinah Shore is perfect for a stand-up comedian too. Stamy loves to sit back and just watch, And then every once in a while, really good music comes through there.
Yeah.
So I'll give that to them. But no, you're gonna have fun.
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
Are you going the whole weekend? I can only do one night. That's all I can manage.
Yeah, I'm going the whole time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Water. So I sound like your mom. Like, drink some water.
I've been asking people this question. Yeah, that's what they say is stay hydrated and wear sunscreen. Those are the 2 most common responses of.
Oh, are they? That's from people that have learned the hard way.
Yeah. How have your experiences differed from being with your first girlfriend, being alone, and being with another girlfriend at the Dinah?
Being with my first girlfriend was great because I had just come out as well, so I didn't know I was gay, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gay, let's go party. And I think it was such a new experience to me. It was a little bit overwhelming, but I felt safe because I was with this group of friends that, I knew very well. And it was awesome to have a place to go and be gay and open, because I still had a bunch of questions. And do you hold her hand? Do you not? Where is it safe? Where is it not? And there it is. The time I went by myself, I was honestly so overwhelmed. I think I got a lot of attention, whether it was wanted or not. And I crawl into a hole when that happens.
So you went by yourself?
But me, yeah, well, without my girlfriend, and just, I had a couple of friends there. But I don't know. I like to have fun. I love meeting people, but sometimes I think when that year I wasn't drinking either, and I think when you add drinks in a lot of other people and you're not drinking, you're on 2 different playing fields. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just remember that. It was funny. I was looking around. I was like, oh my god. And then, last year with Stamy was interesting because I was seeing things through her eyes. So, I'd been there, done that in a weird way, and to see her, or not last year, I guess it was a couple years ago now, but she, her eyes were so big, and she's like, is that happening in front of me? Are those 2 girls doing what I think they're doing? Are they? I'm like, She's like, are those board shorts and sports bras? I was like, uh-huh. But no, it was a lot of fun. All 3 were different experiences, and I think everyone should do it at least once.
Yeah.
But it's fun to go back this year for something that we worked really hard on, and meet the people that support web series, and TellFilms will be there, and distribute a ton of them. So that's a cool way to go.
For the film festival, what part of that are you most looking forward to?
Probably the two parts. One is the Q&A. I really enjoy that because you do get some really good questions and you get to talk to the fans, like, and it's the reason we're making these as well, you know. So you tap into really what they want, what they enjoyed, and you get sort of this little satisfaction from it. And then the other thing is to see a few of the other web series, because whether it be from my development brain or just to enjoy as a viewer, I really think it'll be fun to see some of the new ones. There's one called Hashtag.
Oh, I saw that. I really liked it.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's smart. I mean, it's smart. It's now, you know, and it involves social media, and it's good. So I think the premiere party is tomorrow night, so we'll meet a bunch of the girls and see it for the first time. But yeah, and then there's Nikki and Nora, and I think it'll be there. But just fun to see everybody else's work, because I think it's important for everyone to support each other. It's the biggest peeve I have. The biggest thing is that I don't think women support other women, and I just think they should do it more.
How so? What do you mean by they don't support other women?
I think in general, also I think in business, and I think women end up being very competitive, and sometimes it's for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. And if you are nice to your neighbor who's, you know, gonna move up eventually, two's better than one. Mm-hmm. And I think I think they only see one step ahead of them. And I'm saying this really generally, it's not with everybody. But, you know, it's also like you wonder why do men get paid more still than women in certain jobs. And I think this has a little bit to do with it. And it's just been my experience. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's my own personal one. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But with the exception of the person I'm working for right now, mm-hmm. Karen Mandabach, who's great, I haven't had great experience working with women. And it's unfortunate.
I think I've had mixed experiences.
Mixed?
Yeah, so I definitely see, I guess, what's the word? There's this term in my head, and it is called... I'm blanking.
Everybody should know that we're doing this on a Friday night after we may or may not have had a drink or two. And we're fried. I remember, like, maybe 10, 15 minutes ago trying to have a coherent thought, and I think I left my body and came back in. I don't know if you noticed, but I was like, keep your mouth moving.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Whatever I forgot is something that, like, I've talked about so much, and my mom wrote this book not about that at all, but about self-love, but that was, like, part of one chapter was about this thing in my head, collaborating. Scarcity mentality. That's the term I use.
I missed it. What did you say?
Scarcity mentality.
Okay.
Like if, you know, like if you succeed, no one else can, or like everyone's competing against you or taking away from you. So I've seen that. Then I've also seen the collaborative, is the other side of the coin, which I prefer and think it helps everyone.
Right. No, and that's sort of what I think also, and especially in the workplace, I love to collaborate. I think it's great, but you often meet people who are so competitive or so jealous or so, and it comes from, and I like to give people the benefit of the doubt a few times, and then at a certain point I just can't, but it's, a lot of it comes from their own issues, whatever it might be. You know, I remember having one woman, I was working at an agency when I first started, and I got a lot of attention from the partners, and it was a very, very much of a boys' club. Mm-hmm. And I knew my stuff, and I was moving up, and I also did this little tricky thing where I think anybody, it's not tricky, it's smart. But I had, you know, I had a cubicle, as you often do, as an assistant, and I put a candy jar at my cubicle, and I refilled it every week. Oh. And the reason I did that wasn't because I love candy, I didn't even care for it, was because it makes your desk sort of the water cooler. Everybody comes to you. It's a meeting spot. So that's what ended up happening. And every single day, people would stop by my desk. And you chat them up, and that's how you become friendly with them. And I did that, and I became friendly with a lot of the partners. And there was this one woman who just couldn't deal with it, you know? And I think it had to do with who's prettier than who's getting more attention. And that's when I also realized a lot about sort of my looks in the workspace and how it can turn on and turn off people. So it's just it's just interesting to me. Yeah. It's a fun social commentary. Like, it's a fun thing for me to see and play with, but it's not always the easiest.
Yeah.
You know? But I think it happens a lot with women. It shouldn't be. So that's why I like getting involved also with, you know, TellFilms and with Rolla, and just, you know, there's some great female talent out there. So I like to help bring them to the top.
Yeah, I heard TellFilms is incredible. They have like a great, supportive, welcoming, warm environment.
It's cool. We just met with Kristen today. We might do something else as well with them, Stamy and I. And it's just it's a really smart idea. There's not another sort of network, I guess you can say, like this, you know. So it's just sort of driving. I'd love to help drive more people to it, because all it does is make, you know, other people want to create content, and eventually it'll grow and grow. And, you know, some things may or may not get picked up and go, for instance, to Bravo, which has a bigger audience. You know, so I think it's all for the good. Yeah. What
do you and Stammy what do you and Stammy might want to work with TellFilms?
I don't know if we can say it, only because it's just, we literally just sort of hashed it out a little bit. We have two ideas. One is built around, I'll just tell you generally, but one is built around Stammy's comedy show. She has a stand-up show that she books a room. She has 6 to 8 comics come in and do maybe a 6-10 minute set, somewhere in between there, they vary, and incorporating that and sort of showing what it takes to run a show like that, which sort of steps on your the rest of your week as well. There's a lot of prep. People don't realize there's a lot that goes into it. And comics are interesting people. They are dark souls. It's, you know, comedy comes sometimes from like the belly, from the gut, and I enjoy comics, but it'll be fun to put that on camera, especially we have a lot of LGBT friends that are comedians, so something built around that. And the other one I can't talk about because it's sort of a surprise, and if I say too much, you'll know from the pilot, and we want to keep that a little special thing.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's good. We like creating. We're also going to be starting up our podcast again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, people really liked that, and I think just life it's so hard to juggle everything. Something had to give for a second, so we took a break, but we're going to do it consistently, and we'll figure out the day that it's released, but every week at the same time, and we'll bring different guests in every time.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be more professional. We have a studio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we hooked up with this great company, and so we're going to be launching with them.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, so if you know anybody, let me know. Let me know who you want to hear from.
Definitely.
So
what else? Any other new things going on for you?
What's besides that? Like, isn't that enough? Stamy and I were just figuring out today, because I was like, I told her she's great. She's going to a trainer, so I was like, I have to join a gym, not just for my head. I have to, but I'm like, I figured it out that if I want to join the gym and go, I have to go at 5:30 or 6, really the latest 6, and be done by 7:30.
At night?
No, in the morning. No, kidding. At night, I'm like a zombie. No, in the morning, because the night, you know, whatever, plans change all the time. Yeah. But so my day starts really early. I just realized I have to start it a little earlier if I want to squeeze that in. But it's cool.
Yeah.
Why is my phone saying, oh, battery, plug this thing in?
Yeah, exercise is hugely important for my brain to function. Like, running's my favorite, and just like a time of the day, like when I really get in the stride, like all my thoughts go away. It's completely relaxed, and like to run outside, it's like take in nature, and it's like the perfect break to just unwind, detach from everything, and ground myself.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I used to work out all the time. When I worked at Warner Brothers, we had this great gym, and I'd go every day. whether it was a hard one or just, stretching. It's great. You have to. Everyone has to find something like that for themselves.
Yeah.
I get up, I work so much, and a lot of times I'm looking at the computer. I have my glasses on today for that reason, because I'm tired of contacts. But I'm looking at the computer so long that I have to get up, and what I do now is I walk outside and I do jumping jacks, and everyone stares at me like I'm a weirdo. So I don't care anymore. I don't care. It's fine. It's fine.
I do something similar because I'm always in front of the computer. So sometimes I'll go to the TV room, change it to one of those music channels, put the music really loud, and pretend I'm in a club and just dance. Like,
you should do that right now. Show us.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of my TV's far away from here, but yes.
Nice excuse.
Yeah, maybe another time.
Yeah, another time. We'll do. We should start out every interview like that.
Yeah.
Be like, hello.
Yeah, that could be the web version of how Ellen starts out.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. It works.
It does.
Everybody loves to dance.
Yeah.
There's always closet dancers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a huge family, and there's a lot of closet dancers and out of the closet dancers.
Oh, there you go. They're the best kind.
We dance at almost every family gathering. We are dancing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's good. It's happy. It's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for you. My mom dances a couple of days a week.
Nice.
She goes salsa dancing, and then you catch her dancing in the house, and I think it's the cutest thing, and she's got this great little body from it, too. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's good. I hope I'm doing that at her age.
Yeah, me too. I hope I could walk and stuff when I get older.
Oh, Jesus.
That's my goal.
Hope I can eat.
Yeah. Have a functioning brain and be able to move and take care of myself.
Yeah. No, I think like a big thing, too, is getting used to that now. You know what I mean? You train. It's all sort of conditioning. And obviously we can't help things as we get older, and everyone's different. But it's all conditioning. Yeah. You condition the mind, you condition the body. So it's, that's something you always try to do. It's just important to take care of yourself. I realized also doing all these things and juggling and so on that, there's a small moment where I stopped taking care of meaning like, I go for checkups all the time and so on, but I realized like one day I was really fatigued, like really tired, and I finally stopped. It was like after 2 weeks of feeling like that. And I went in, I realized my iron was incredibly low. And I was like, oh God. Like, it's just little moments where you really should just stop and listen to your body and take care of yourself. And it'll affect everything else around you.
Definitely.
So, that's the only thing. I just have to learn sometimes to stop.
That's what I have to learn. I went running yesterday, and I came back, and my knee was bruised. I had no idea how it happened. I was like, I think my body's trying to talk to me to slow down with everything in life. It's like, take a break, maybe watch a movie tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. It's totally true. So, we're going to watch a movie tonight.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to watch some Survivor really soon. What movie are you guys going to watch?
But what?
What movie are you guys going to watch?
We're going to watch Captain Phillips.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about before we go?
No, enjoy the Dinah. I'll see you there.
Yes.
And I'll take pictures and videotape you.
Okay, that sounds good. Dancing?
Yeah. And then, what else? No, just everyone should watch Kiss Her I'm Famous. It's on TellFilms.
Yes.
And you can follow me on Instagram at T.H.E. and on Twitter at Tracy Ryerson. And those should really match, and I just don't know why I didn't make them match. It's so hard. And no, this was fun. This was cool.
Cool.
I feel like very loungy, like I've known you forever.
I know. I think we met before when we were 3.
We did.
Yeah.
In the sandbox.
Yeah, in the sandbox. I did. And you had a bug, like, right here. And I was like, that is huge and scary, but I'm going to brave it and take it out of your hair.
Oh, like the little monkeys do.
Yeah.
That was cute. I don't know. Oh my God. Stamey's gonna look at this. She's gonna be like, "Why'd you do that in your glasses?" That's.
Well, my mom tells me that I look cute and savvy in my glasses.
Oh yeah.
So maybe that's what you should tell her. It's like,
the only thing I get with my glasses, which is so awful and weird and cool at the same time, and I can't tell it's mixed feelings, is that when I wear them, and when I don't wear them for a while, especially, people will be like, "Oh my god, you look so smart," and I'm like, what does that mean? Like, it's the same for like what? And I remember it happened to me when I was at the studio, and I hadn't worn them at all, and I wasn't sort of getting a chance to speak at these really big meetings, and I understand why, but then one day I wore my glasses, and I literally had the table and the time to speak, and walked out, and this young exec was like, "Wow, you look really smart today," like the exact same thing, and I was so, like, appalled. And then I decided to wear my glasses and try it out, and it was so interesting.
That's cool.
What?
It was so awesome because you're talking about like your passion for people and connecting and just experiencing people, and it's cool to hear like how you just are aware of your interactions with people. It's like with the candy on your table, the glasses. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think I am sometimes a little bit too aware. Like I wish I wasn't, in a weird way. I know it sounds weird, but I don't know. I love studying people.
Yeah.
I love studying body language. I've read so many things about it. It's fascinating and it's so true, and you can really tell so much about somebody in a split second. Mm-hmm. It should have been one of those like police. I don't know.
Detectives. That's why your friends tell you need to play detective.
Yeah, right. I'd be the worst interrogator, but I'd be great at telling you if you were lying. But the worst at like getting it out of you.
So you need a partner. So you just.
Yeah, I need a partner. I'd be the quiet one and like give them the signal, like lying, like that's rounding second, but this is lying, like something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I look smart today.
You look very intelligent. Not to offend you, as if you don't without your glasses.
Thank you. I don't. I look like a total bimbo. It's fine. I keep getting these text messages on this phone. It's Stamy saying, "Come watch Captain Phillips with me."
Okay. So, well, thank you. Thank you very much for a conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah. And when it's live, I will let you know and send you a link.
Sounds good. I'll post it up.
Okay, cool. Well, then I'll see you at the Dinah.
All right. See you at the Dinah.
Bye.
Bye.